Welcome to my C++ series. Today in this video we are just going to learn what are the loops in C++. Only in the one video we will be covering all type of loops in C++. So C++ has a two type of loops. All languages has two type of loops. So for loop and while loop. So the loops in all kind of languages will be the same infrastructure. In every kind of language you will find more of similarity between the loops in C++ in the other languages, so you will not find much difference between the loop writing loops, the syntax of the loops in the programming language as well. And so just want to show that how loops are, how loops works in C++, and how to use them and why we will use them. So loops, it means that iteration, repeating the thing again and again. So for example, I am writing the hello world for the 5 times. I want to write it for the 10 times. I want to write it for the I want to write it for the 100 times. So what I will do, so I will have to write it for the 100 times, and I will have to write it for the 10 times. No, I will not do that. So because it is humanly impossible. So what I will do to overcome that kind of problem. So I will write a loop, and a loop will print a one line for 100 times for me. So I will give a condition to the loop that print it for the 10 times for me and print it for the 100 times for me. So I will show you an example by just jumping onto the code directly. You can see we are here in the Visual Studio. So one header file in the standard library namespace. So I'm starting with the for loop. I told you in the introduction that we have two types of loop, a for loop and a while loop as well. So I starting with the for loop. You just have to write the for. So before this, I want to show that if you want to write the hello world for the 5 times, so what you will do, that you will definitely have to write it for the 5 times. So I don't want to do that because it looks awkward and it is humanly impossible if I want to write it for the 100 times. Okay, so what I will do to print it for the 10 times, so I will write the for loop starting with the for parentheses. The for loop have 3 stages in it. Okay, so just be careful while noting it. First declaring the variable, and then the variable I starting from the 0, because we want to start from 0 and we want to take it until 10 here. So how I will define the 10? Now I will define the condition until the I is not reached to the 10, then you will have to iterate the statement hello world again and again. Now the third one is the incremental statement, that after every iteration you have to increment the I, then the I will be reach its certain condition that I have defined in my file for loop here. Okay, so what I will do, I will copy one of these lines and will paste it here. Okay, now the for loop is ready to print the hello world for the 10 times. So here is I incrementing, and this is the condition. This is like an if condition. If I is greater than 10 or equal to 10, then terminate the for loop. Okay, I will show you an example by just writing the if statement in the for loop here. Okay, so just get rid of all the lines here. Okay, just build it. Compiling and running, you will see the results on the screen here. Hello world is for the 10 times. So I hope you all have understand it better. So I just want to show that how these conditions and how these declaration and the incrementals are working in the for loop. Okay, so first I declare the variable called int I is equals to 0. So just erase it from here. all of this. You just have to put the semicolons in it, because this otherwise the for loop will not work here. Okay, so print a hello world, and if given the condition, if I is greater than or is equal to 10, then please increment it. Okay, is I is less than 10, then the I here. Okay, else what it will do, that it will break. The break statement is that will break the for loops execution here. Okay, so now I will show you, after building and compiling, you will see the results that the hello world is on the screen here. So I hope you got it right as well. So just want to do it on the actual condition here. Okay, now comes the while loop. While loop, you will understand it great, because I have shown you before that while loop, you will have to write while, then parentheses and the curly brackets as well. Then you have to give the condition only here. You will not declare a variable, there will be no increment, and you just have to give the condition here. While I is not equals greater than 10, then you will be executing the statement again and again. Now the question is, how comes the I is not here, I haven't declared the I. Then you will have to define the I before starting the loop. Okay, so just want to print the hello world in the while loop, and just going to increment after every iteration here. Okay, so you will see, so I just want to on the screen that the hello will be the 10 times the hello world on the screen here. So I hope you all have got it right, that while loop and the for loop. So I will now the difference between these two, you will not find great difference between these two for the basics, because the difference then you will find then an advanced topic, the difference is an advanced topic, but you will not find, because they both have done the same thing, the iteration. But the difference is that in the for loop you all define the condition and the incremental and the variable on in the one line, and in the for while loop you will have to write before and give the condition and increment it after. Yeah, so sometimes you are coding for the in the processor, that you are jumping into the memory, you will use the for loop here, because I is an is kind of gives the address or the actual condition or the actual address of the memory. Then you will be using for loop, and for example, you have a data on the memory and you want to extract from the memory, you are using, the amount of data, then you are using the for loop and you are executing it again and again. Then you are extracting the data from the memory, jumping into the memory, you will using the for loop here. Then comes to the while. While is an interestingly, it's often called the gaming loop. The game loop is in a while loop, that while they run the game, while user don't press the exit button here. So because you can have more type of users, because for example, a user is playing a game for the 30 minutes and another user is playing the game for the 4 hours as well. So while the user is not pressing the button exit button, you will have to repeat, you will be running the game, and you will not be exiting from the game while the user is not press the exit button. So that's because we don't have an exact condition, because the user can press it after 30 minutes or after 4 hours, 2 hours. I don't know what is the condition, so I will apply the condition while the I is not is less than 10, you will be executing. So I don't have an exact condition. Okay, so while the user is not press the button exit button, you will not be exit. So I hope this example will make you clear that how the while loop works in a game. The nickname of the while loop is the game loop. So in the games we use the while loop is most often. We will not prefer the for loop instead of while loop in the gaming. So I hope you find this video educational and entertaining. So goodbye for now.